Hello and welcome to TV3 Sports Talk, episode 109. Bucs season is over. Is Todd Bowles' career over?
No, he's coming back for the 2026 season, Joel, and we're going to talk about it.
See, I don't know. I'm gonna refuse to believe it until Martin Luther King. That's my choice. I'm gonna be in denial until Martin Luther King Day.
So you got conspiracy theories? You think?
It just can't. John Gruden, he's not getting signed until never. So doors open. Doors still open.
I don't think. Maybe Joel's right. Maybe Todd Bowles gets.
I get so much Facebook clickbait on that kind of stuff. So
it's an AI. It's an AI.
Yes.
Todd Bowles there on the Facebook post.
No, it's always like John Gruden. Like John Gruden was in the building. It's like
the things that go on Facebook are
on
really
Facebook.
truly beyond our understanding. But yes, the Bucs season is over. They went out on a win, defeated the Carolina Panthers on Saturday, but the NFC South did the most NFC South thing ever. The Atlanta Falcons defeated the New Orleans Saints, meaning the Panthers are your NFC South champions and will be playing a home playoff game against the Rams this weekend in Wild Card Weekend. And that means the Bucs, for the first time since the 2019 season, are not making the playoffs. It's the first time since Todd Bowles took over that the Bucs will not be making the playoffs. Snaps their franchise-long playoff streak of 5 years in a row. Their franchise-long of 4 straight division titles. Just a tough ending. We kind of mentioned it last week, but just to reiterate, the Bucs were 6-2 going into their bye week in the smack dab middle of the season. A perfect time to have a bye week. You go in the bye week, looking strong. You're getting people healthy because you were banged up the entire first half of the season. Everything is looking fine and dandy. But then the Bucs lost 7 of their final 9 contests to end the regular season, and it just raised a lot of eyebrows. Bucs fans are not happy with Todd Bowles. I'm sure a lot of you guys who are not happy with Todd Bowles are the ones watching this show right now. So we'll ask you, leave a comment down below. How do you feel about Todd Bowles returning in 2026? How do you guys feel about Todd Bowles? Who would you like to see? Because we'll get into it. Some staff changes are likely on the way. Who would you like to see maybe become the new offensive coordinator? Maybe who would you like to see maybe the Bucs part ways with this offseason on the coaching staff? We want to know your thoughts. And, of course, if you're here on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, share the video with a friend. But, Joel, let's take out the conspiracy theories for a second. But we have to. But if Todd Bowles is coming back, and he likely is, what are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on the Bucs going the next season? And ultimately, just what are your thoughts?
You see this coming every year. Todd Bowles always starts out like 3-1, 2-2, 4-2. This season was one of the better ones. We're all saying, hey, what if you won Coach of the Year this year? That'd be crazy. Baker Mayfield MVP and all that kind of stuff. But everybody kind of tongue-in-cheek was saying that stuff, knowing that in the back of our minds we were going to get this 4 or 5 game, 6 game, 7 game skid. So definitely frustrated. What do I want to see? Because this is worst case scenario. I would say John Harbaugh's. I think he was the offensive coordinator this year. He's always kind of linked to the Bucs. I think he was our coordinator at one point.
The Ravens offensive coordinator?
Yeah.
Todd Monken.
Yeah, if we could get Todd Monken on offense, that'd be pretty good. Jesus Lord, I pray John Gruden as offensive coordinator, that'd be super awesome. I don't know. Everybody, the conversation here is very divided on this. It's like if you are a lame duck coach, do more coordinators want to come in to take your job inevitably next year? Or do no coordinators want to come in with you because you're now a lame duck coordinator? I don't know. I'd say if we could get any of those two guys, Todd Monken, yeah, or John Gruden, that'd be awesome. But, realistically speaking, we probably won't. So, if we get a good coordinator, he's probably gone next year. We're kind of in this Groundhog Day situation right now. If we're keeping Todd Bowles, you have a crappy offensive coordinator, you're going to fire him. If you have a good offensive coordinator, he's going to go somewhere else as a head coach. So, what are you going to do at this point?
Yeah, I do agree. I think it's kind of an odd situation for Todd Bowles to be in because, in 2023 and 2024, he had very, very successful offensive coordinator hires. I mean, Dave Canales, while the Bucs offense wasn't, fantastic, he really found a way to develop Baker Mayfield back into an NFL caliber starting quarterback. And he really found a way to kind of the Bucs offense in 2023, while it wasn't always explosive, it steadily improved, and it got to a point at the end of the season where it was, pretty deadly. And that was even before the Bucs had, guys like Bucky Irving and Jalen McMillan and Emeka Ibuka. And then 2024, and then obviously the Panthers poach him, hoping for him to be able to help develop Bryce Young. And then you have 2024, and really Todd Bowles hits a slam dunk with the offensive coordinator. And I'm not sure Todd Bowles isn't the only one, but a head coach is very, very instrumental in hiring the coordinators. I think they're the main voice. So you got to give Todd Bowles a lot of credit. I mean, he hits a slam dunk. I mean, the Bucs offense is top 5 in the league in scoring, third down, passing, rushing, all that good stuff. Like they are just, firing on all cylinders. And, Todd Bowles, again, is rewarded by making the right hire by losing that offensive coordinator. And that's frustrating. Like you don't want to get to a point where you're punishing someone for doing the correct thing. Like that, you don't want to live a world where you're afraid to hire a good offensive coordinator because you might lose them, because that's just the business of the NFL. So I think last season we went in house. I think we kind of went in house with the hope. And, the hope of keeping someone. I think that was one of the bigger reasons why the Bucs went in-house to get Josh Grizzard, because they knew he was an in-house guy. They were promoting. They were hoping the familiarity was going to help the Bucs.
Cohen was in-house too, right?
Nope. He came in from Kentucky.
Okay.
He had some history with Baker Mayfield.
Who was the guy before Liam Cohen?
Canales he came from Seattle.
Okay.
So who you're thinking of is Byron Leftwich, who was Bruce Arians' offensive coordinator.
Okay.
And when Bruce Arians, stepped away, he became the full-time play caller because Bruce Arians was instrumental in calling the plays.
That's the one I'm thinking of, yeah.
But Todd Bowles fired him, and you got to give him a lot of credit. That was the right decision, and that helped the Bucs instrumentally from 2022 to 2023. And I think Todd Bowles is in a similar situation where, obviously, we don't know, but multiple reports have said that staff changes are expected to come alongside of the keeping of Todd Bowles. So, there's been a report from Jeremy Fowler last week that said that it's likely that Josh Grizzard will be a one-and-done coordinator. I think that that's the right choice, and I think that if Todd Bowles can make the hard decisions to, hire people that aren't exactly people that he might be familiar with, but just like truly the best coaches on the market, I think that is a thing that can keep Todd Bowles around. I think that there is a lot of blame going around for this Bucs season. I mean, how can you not be frustrated as Bucs fans, as Bucs players, as the front office, the coaching staff, whatever? You lost 7 of your last 9 games. That's a travesty. That is a failed season. The Bucs season in 2025 was a failed season. There's no other way to put it. You were at one point the top team in the NFC, the top record in the NFC. You had all these things going for you, and you weren't even fully healthy. And as the Bucs got healthier, their team got worse. And for that reason, I don't know what happened. And there's a lot of stuff that went wrong. There's a lot of stuff that has come out. We can get to it. But I think this is a failed season. And my question to you, Joel, is what can Todd Bowles do right now going into 2026 to kind of bring you back on board to the pirate ship that he's steering?
Retire. Honestly, though, he's gonna have to get tougher. Like, these walkthrough practices are not gonna cut it. We'll get to that in a second as well, but it's just. I mean, you lose your guys. Like, you can't be a buddy all the time. Like, I know that in my kind of career choices and what. Like, I guess if you're a buddy, like, it's not always gonna work. Like when you're dealing with kids and stuff like that. And Todd Bowles is essentially dealing with kids at the age difference that he is. So you have to kind of put the hammer down sometimes and say, boys, let's get to work. Let's do full practices. Let's fix that detail. Make sure that detail is absolutely correct. We don't want to do a mistake like that in game. You have to make sure that's right now. And if you're doing a walkthrough, how are you going to be able to fix certain situations like that? And I mean, that goes against his mentalities in more ways than one. So I don't know. Like, I know part of the reason why he does walkthroughs is because he doesn't want to injure his guys in practice. I think of the center a couple of years ago. Like, he got hurt essentially doing preseason practice work, and that, I mean, devastating to the season. But I mean, those kind of things are abnormal for the most part. Like, you have to go hard in practice sometimes.
Yeah, and I do think that So what Joel's referencing is there was an anonymous player, a Bucs player that came out saying that the Bucs, the Bucs have a lot of walkthroughs, and the reason why the Bucs have so many walkthroughs, especially on defense, is Todd Bowles has a pretty complex defensive scheme, and to do that, there's a lot of learning your spots, learning your roles, and kind of just seeing the game, and to do that, like to show that Todd Bowles likes to do walkthroughs and stuff like that. And there's an anonymous player that said that the Bucs had too many walkthroughs, and he kind of put some of the blame of why the Bucs, had so many missed assignments or missed tackles or busted coverages or just bad all-out defenses because they didn't practice enough and they had too many walkthroughs. And I think that's a pretty jarring report to come from a Buccaneers player.
Are we keeping the player anonymous? Or?
It
was Yaya Diaby.
No.
He said some stuff too.
He did, but he defended Todd Bowles. He called out the other players. Yeah. It could be Yaya Diaby, but the report was an anonymous player. Yaya Diaby came out and said there was a lot of players that were not serious about winning, and
he said that there's too many walkthroughs, things needed to change, and it was hurting their ability to translate to game speed.
I think you might be getting AI tricked right now.
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe it was Yaya Diaby. The report I saw was an anonymous player. Doesn't really matter at the end of the day. I think Yaya Diaby is going to be on the team next year.
Probably the whole locker room.
Yeah,
for the most part.
I'm sure there's multiple players that feel that way. But anyways, if Todd Bowles has to be able to recognize that some things need to change, and I think that is leading into the Bucs offseason of 2026. I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, from top to bottom, they have to be willing to get uncomfortable. And that starts with GM Jason Light. I think Jason Light has got to the point where he needs to be willing to be uncomfortable. What am I talking about? You got to be willing to trade draft picks. You have to be willing to take a big swing in free agency or take a big swing at a trade because what you've been doing has not been working. And there's a lot of good that's come from, focusing on the draft, focusing on, maybe taking some low end salary and maybe, hoping to, find diamond in the rough with a player, whether you think of Hassan Reddick or I remember Ryan Neal a couple of years ago. Like that's kind of the Bucs free agency signings, and then spending money on keeping your players in-house. You've signed big extensions with Mike Evans, Tristan Wirfs, Antoine Winfield, Baker Mayfield. I understand it's good to keep your guys in-house, and they've had a lot of success. 4 straight division titles, 5 straight playoffs. I get that. But Jason Light this offseason has to be willing to, get out of his comfort zone. He has to be willing to, if there's a big-time defensive player on the market, i.e. a Max Crosby, you gotta be willing to throw some first-round picks on the line to boost this defense, because this defense needs a proven edge rusher. This defense needs proven linebackers. It needs to focus in the draft on defensive players, and maybe your personal philosophy of the draft through the years has been, hey, we got to take the best player available. I understand, but if the best player's there, the player we like that best is at our pick, we have to be willing to take him. Sometimes you got to be uncomfortable, and you got to force the issue, and you got to address needs, and the Bucs have to do that. Whether that's a big time trade, whether that's spending money in free agency, or whether that is being hell-bent in the draft on getting an inside linebacker or the best edge rusher available. Jason Light and this Bucs front office has to be able to come out of their comfort zone and do that. Then you move on down to Todd Bowles. First thing Todd Bowles needs to get out of his comfort zone is he can't hire his friends. You have to go outside and hire and hold your coaching staff accountable. To have Thomas McGahee on the staff this entire season with how bad the Bucs special teams has been this year, it's ridiculous. And you have to be willing to go out of your comfort zone. Again, we talked about this last week. The Rams are a playoff team. They fired their special teams coordinator in the middle of the season, and now they were able to get some stuff fixed, and now they are in the playoffs with a new guy, at least attempting to make changes with their special teams. The Bucs have to be willing to make the hard decision this offseason. You have to be willing to go out and get guys that are going to do the best job possible, because at the end of the day, Todd Bowles might be safe for 2026, but right now, at this moment, 2026, he's coaching for his job. He really is. His buyout's going to get smaller.
That's true.
And he's going to be coaching for his job this season. He has to take that next step. So at this point, Todd Bowles has to get out of his comfort zone. Another thing he needs to do to get out of his comfort zone is you got to hire a defensive coordinator. You have to hire a defensive coordinator. You may not have to fully give up the play calling, but you have to hire a guy that you can at least bounce off and collaborate with, and have someone to help develop the defense, help focus on fitting run holes and gaps, or being in the right spot, or not having a coverage bust, or focusing on who needs to be in the game and who needs to be benched, and helping out Todd Bowles. Because at the end of the day, right now, where it is, there's too many mistakes happening with this defense to leave Todd Bowles as the only one in charge of the main defensive play calling, and Todd Bowles has to recognize that. And I hope the Glazers recognize that, and when they brought him back, they gave him an ultimatum of, hey, you have to hire some type of guy to help you on defense. So I think this offseason, 2026, is all about the Jason Light and Todd Bowles getting out of their comfort zone to help the team grow. And if they don't, we're going to be in a similar situation next year, and maybe in a worse situation, because I think other teams in the NFC South are going to get better next season.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Like I have a sneaky suspicion that Harbaugh is probably going to go to the Falcons, so that's no fun at all. So I think
they fired their coach and their GM, which is again for what they've been doing. That's a good.
Yeah, ready for the pickings. So
yeah.
They haven't proven to me in the past that they're willing to change. Like I don't see Todd Bowles as like a leader of man type of guy who kind of is just a walk-through coach while he has his coordinators doing the work. So even if he gets coordinators, I still think he's going to say like, oh, like, that's not how I want to do it. Let me just kind of take the reins on something like this. And then you might just have coordinators who are kind of just a pair of shoes. And it scares me a lot on that note. So the fact that we're going in this direction just doesn't seem to kind of bode well toward the qualities of Todd Bowles. So like you're saying, like I'm just very, very worried that this is going to be a lost season. And again, our core is getting older. Like we're in a season of winning right now, and if we waste another year on Todd Bowles and his regime, it's just not it for me. At this point, there's not really anything to change. So, yeah. And the last thing I'll say right now, but I saw somebody comment this on social media, so it's not my idea. But with how many Bucs fans are just cheesed off right now, they're going to lose so much revenue this season that probably would have paid for the buyout. Like, I mean, you're going to lose so much fan motivation right now that you picked up from those Brady years. And I mean, before Brady, we were a laughing stock. We were definitely bottom 10 in attendance and whatnot. And you had to dig your way out of a situation like that. It took getting the GOAT to come into your building to get out of that kind of place. And now you're about to go right back into it if you bring Todd Bowles back in, because people wanted Bowles fired last year. So now you do that again. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Anybody who doesn't have season tickets right now is going to be out the door. And people who have season tickets, they're out the door next year.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that take, because there is quite the uproar.
I've never seen it this bad.
No, I would agree.
Like I'm usually sad when we fire a coach, but this one, it's like, what are we doing?
Yeah,
like give Gruden this extra year, man. Gruden deserved another year.
Yeah, and seriously, like if you are, maybe not on social media, maybe you just go on YouTube, maybe you just found us randomly, maybe you're not even a Bucs fan and you're just curious about what's going on with the Tampa Bay fan base. I mean, Bucs fans are not happy. They are frustrated. I mean, and it's pretty much universal. I mean, you can find a few Todd Bowles, defenders. I mean, I know Will, he's not here on the show right now because he's at the Todd Bowles parade right now.
We didn't bring him in for today. We're like, you're gonna have to stay home for this one, man.
But there's a few, but man, it's almost universal. People are upset with Todd Bowles, and rightfully so or not, that does produce lack of money, and that does produce lack of ticket sales, and that's why it's even more imperative for Jason Light this offseason to say, we're going to get Max Crosby.
That's the only way
we're going to
get
it. And if you make a big signing,
we'll forget.
In March, everyone will forget.
Yeah,
everyone will forget. So that's kind of another reason to be able to get. And if Todd Bowles goes out and hires this offensive guru from the Rams or who coached with Sean McVay, everyone's gonna be like, oh yeah, the Bucs, they're gonna be right back. It's another Liam Cohen. So there's things the Bucs can do to kind of offset this outrage with keeping Todd Bowles, but they have to play it right, and they have to play it a little risky, and that's kind of my whole thing. And I'm gonna I'm gonna do a little bit of defending of Todd Bowles right now because I think there's plenty of things you can defend. Obviously, 35-33 record in 4 seasons. Again, understand the NFC South has been the worst division in football in the Todd Bowles
If you're
era.
not finishing in first place, you're out the door already.
And again, worst division in football. I understand. So for me saying, hey, you went to 3 straight division, won the division 3 straight times, went to the playoff 3 straight times. I understand that doesn't hold as much weight. But again, let's go back to what Todd Bowles took over, 2022, because I've seen a lot of idiots on social media saying, Todd Bowles couldn't even win with Tom Brady. Tom Brady was 42, 43 years old. He was in his late 40s or early 40s. He retired. He retired in January and decided to unretire, skip the entire training camp. And on top of that, the Bucs had given all these crazy contracts to veterans to help them win. They won in 2020 and 2021. And they were in salary cap purgatory. They were in a terrible spot. Todd Bowles took that over after the head coach just took a step back. I think it was in March, right near the draft. So you're going through all this disarray, and Todd Bowles takes over. And he struggles. There's a lot of things that go wrong, and that is completely understandable. But he still gets them to win 8 games. He wins some huge games down the stretch, gets them to the playoffs. And then, after that season, it's a rebuild. It's a rebuild. That's what it is. For most teams in 2023, with a brand new quarterback, with brand new players across the board, with a bunch of players being cut or retiring, and a few players returning, 2023 would be a 5-12 season or a 6-11 season. But Todd Bowles and Jason Light, got to give him a lot of credit. He had a great drafting class that year. Got the Bucs to improve their win total in a 9-8 season. And not only did they do that, him, Jason Light, the combination, whatever they did, they found a franchise quarterback in Baker Mayfield in the rough. That was you could call it a freak accident, but again, I think the situation in Tampa also produced, the success for Baker Mayfield. So 2023, in my opinion, he severely overachieved that year. I mean, you look back at, the players the Bucs lost and how many players, young players the Bucs are relying on that year to produce, and just, first and second year players. The Bucs really vastly overachieved in 2023. And then you get 2024. And, that's kind of where everything, especially offensively, goes right. And I understand that there's a lot of, defensive, frustration. But again, Todd Bowles hasn't had a reliable edge rusher his entire time he's been the head coach. Who's the best edge rusher the Bucs have had? Yaya Diaby is a third or fourth round pick who overachieved. He is not your main sack guy. Todd Bowles has had to, come up with all these defensive schemes and stop people without a reliable edge rusher. For Todd Bowles to continually, make do with the defense and the injuries. I mean, think about, you lost Mike Evans and Chris Godwin last year. You are relying on, Levante David, who feels like he's 50 years old with how long he's been playing. We should talk about him later. Yeah. And Todd Bowles has been able to, keep your head above the water. And last year, the Bucs were a really, really good team. And, they went out to a hot Washington team in the first round. And it's unfortunate. And I think there's some things that Todd Bowles did down the stretch, especially defensively, that were it's okay to be frustrated about. And I understand why people were angry at him coming this season. And then you fast forward to this season. I think this was by far Todd Bowles' worst coaching season. But man, the Bucs were banged up. I mean, think about it. They were 6-2, and I mean, there's a lot of stuff that went on in this locker room. There's a lot of finger pointing, arguments, and you could put that all on Todd Bowles. But at the end of the day, we've said this a bunch. These are adults. Todd Bowles, he's not a college coach. He can't manage, everyone's feelings and make sure this is like a, sunshines and rainbows locker room. Like these are adults. They're going to, work out their problems like adults do. And this team just they did not connect. They were not synergized like, past Bucs teams. And just to think about, like Todd Bowles, when he first started, what was our biggest complaint about Todd Bowles, Joel?
Lack of aggressiveness.
Clock management and game management.
Okay.
And what has Todd Bowles done this season? Have we complained about his game management at all?
A lot.
No, we didn't. This year, what? Give me an
okay.
example. Give me an example.
Before halftime, game 17, or week 17, 18, 17th game of the season. Bro, that was so
Fair.
was so bad. We
He was
wasted like 90 seconds at halftime.
He wanted that field
we
goal.
won, so it didn't matter too much. But holy guacamole! I mean, that's just one. Like, I mean, if we look back, we could find some other.
We
ones,
can find some nitpickies, but there has not been major clock issues this season. We have mentioned that they've done a better job.
I can't give you that one. I can't give you that one.
I would disagree. I think the clock management has been a lot better this year.
There's been a couple moments where we've said that was good, but there's been a lot of other moments where we kind of.
But he improved. He improved, and that's what I'm saying. Todd Bowles has shown an ability to change and improve, and I have the belief that he's going to be able to do that with some pressure from the Glazers. That's my point here.
The Jolly Roger is out to shine.
I
today.
am. Looking back, what we should have done is we should have let go of Todd Bowles last season and kept Liam
And
Cohen.
the whole
but at this
community was begging for it.
and I agree, and I was kind of on that page last year as well. But at this point, I don't really think there's better options. I don't really think John Harbaugh got respect for him. I mean, but he just got fired, and the Ravens have been disappointing with one of the best quarterbacks in the league for the last 5 years. Lamar Jackson is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. He has won the MVP twice, and John Harbaugh couldn't even get the Super Bowl with him. So that's not a guy that I'm gonna just like ditch my coach for, just to get. And I don't really think there was great.
I'd give him the world.
I don't really think there was great options. So I think a lot of people scrutinize Todd Bowles for some of the things that's not Todd Bowles' fault. Is my point here? He's coaching for his job next year, and I really hope that as they go, into the offseason, they're willing to make changes.
All right. I mean, this is a tangent. And I just thought about this. But what if Mike Tomlin gets fired after they go out first round? Is there a possibility?
I don't know.
I mean, like,
but
getting goosebumps.
But
I would love that.
But do you seriously think Mike Tomlin is any different than Todd Bowles? They
Somebody
have the
needs to
same.
yell
They
at
have
these
this.
guys.
They have literally the same problem: the conservativeness, the lack of changing, the 9-8, 10-7, barely winning a bad division problems. The Steelers have the same problems as the Bucs.
The discipline that he has, I think, would do wonders on this team.
You
give him a good offensive coordinator with Baker Mayfield and the team that we have right now. And I mean, you could win a couple playoff games.
I mean, I'm not saying that I don't think it'd be out of the realm of possibilities. I don't think the Steelers are going to fire Mike Tomlin unless they get smoked in the first round.
Which they very well could. Who are they playing? Let's see who they're playing.
The Texans. Texans at home.
That's probably a close game.
Yeah, that's kind of what I feel. But I'm not going to like say it's like impossible to happen.
I think
he suffers from a lot of the same problems that Todd Bowles suffers from.
If they lose first round, though, I think he's gone because missed field goal and he's gone. So
that's crazy.
And look at Jim Harbaugh, missed field goal and he's gone. So
yeah.
I think both sides of this coin.
That was such an awesome game.
I was so torn on who I wanted though.
I
felt so bad for that kicker, man. You could see it in his eyes.
No, I did feel bad for him.
It
kind of feels good to see Aaron Rodgers get one last ride. I'm a little happy about that.
It's weird. It's weird liking him, but I do want him.
Yeah, as he's gotten older, like the last, I like Steelers version of Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, that's true.
Jets version, I'm not about.
He looked weird in that one.
Yeah, he did. But yeah, I think Mike Tomlin presents a lot of the same problems Todd Bowles does. That's just my opinion. But I'm not gonna say that it's out of the realm of possibility.
Overall, he's a winner. He's a multi Super Bowl winner.
Man, I like that. I mean, that's like 10, 15 years ago.
More than that.
Yeah,
that's probably looking at 18.
2012. I think 20. They won in 20. No, that was when they lost to the Packers.
Okay, that might have been even earlier.
I think 2010 was when they lost. So that's 15.
Okay, yeah. You're right.
I think they were 07 and 10.
I forgot how math works.
Yeah. Hey, bro, we're getting it's 2026. It's getting. That's
crazy. What I was like. That's 20 years ago.
That's 16. I mean, it is 16. It's closer to 20 than it is 10.
It's true.
That's wild. But yeah, we want to hear your thoughts and comments. Before we get out of here, unless you have anything else on Todd Bowles.
I mean, there's so much, but also like nothing. It's like we're beating a dead horse.
Yeah. Yeah, and we've talked about it. So we discussed this last week. If you want to go check out our last episode, just want to talk about Levante David.
Radio guy.
Gene Deckerhoff. Yes,
it was an end of an era in many ways.
Yeah. So Gene Deckerhoff announced his retirement. I think it's 37 years as Bucs play-by-play guy. One of the longest tenured radio guys, just the voice of the Bucs. I
Absolutely.
mean, for all of us, growing up, like Gene Deckerhoff, when you think of, Bucs plays, like he's the voice that comes up into our head. He's beloved. I'm glad that he's, choosing to retire. I always feel bad when legends stay in the booth or stay in the profession
it's hard
too long.
when they die in the booth.
Yeah. And when they just lose it, but it's like, what are you gonna do? Like you can't do it. So I'm glad he's retiring and stepping away when he's still, I still enjoyed listening to him when I turned on the radio.
Did you watch his press conference?
I saw some clips. I didn't watch the whole
episode.
Yeah. I just enjoy when old people tell stories, and he had plenty of those.
He saw almost all our success.
Yeah.
And to think that he coached every single one of Derek Brooks' professional games, Seminoles and Bucs.
Called.
Called.
I was like, he coached? No, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah. I mean,
one of the clips was he told Jameis Winston, like, stay with the Bucs and I'll do the same thing for you.
that's funny.
Unfortunately, that didn't happen.
Well, he did the same thing, but he caught a lot more interceptions than he did touchdowns.
I guess so, yeah.
Oh, so sad. Yeah, and then Levante David, man. I just found myself getting really nostalgic thinking about Levante David, because you just think about being a 12 to 15, 16-year-old Bucs fan, Sunday after church. All I had was, tracking Levante David's stats.
It was like him and McCoy were like
and Mike Evans and
the two guys.
Yeah, it was I don't know half these players, or they're new from last season. They're losing a lot, but man, Levante David's in the middle of the field and he's flying around. And, I always knew I could have that. And I feel like that's just Levante David, in some ways, I feel like it's just been a constant in my life. Yeah. He's been 14 years, just solid as a rock. I think, obviously, for sure, a Ring of Honor guy. I think when you look at the stats, I mean, Sunday he tied Derek Brooks for the Buccaneers' all-time franchise-leading tackler. That was perfect timing. Yeah, seriously. He already leads the Bucs in fumble recoveries. I'm gonna find the stat because it's just impressive. But he really just has been a constant in my life. I feel like. Did
he get an interception in this game, or was it the last game, or was it that the game 2 weeks ago?
He got an interception. Well, he got the fumble. He recovered a fumble
in this game against the Rams, right?
Yes.
That was a good cherry on top.
Yeah, and it's great. So I want to find it because, it's a pretty crazy stat. Okay. Levante David, his fumble recovery in the third quarter gave him his 35th career takeaway. Levante David joins Brian Urlacher and Ray Lewis as the only linebacker since 1982 with at least 35 takeaways and 40 sacks. That's pretty good company, Brian Urlacher and Ray Lewis. So that's pretty crazy. Seriously, a staple, a legend. Did you watch his post-game press conference? Really good, man. He was so grateful. He was glorifying God the entire time. Just very, very at peace with where his career has been, and if it's the end, and I assume it will be. He definitely, again, the last two off seasons, it's kind of been rumored retirement. It's been on the table, and he signed 1-year deals. So I assume we're reaching the end for Levante David. And as a fan of the Bucs, I'm just grateful to have been able to watch him play for so many years, and I'm grateful that you again for both these guys, for Gene Deckerhoff or Levante David, you went out on a win at Raymond James Stadium. You go out on a win. Maybe it's not the season you wanted to go out in, but it's the result you want to go out in. A sloppy, rainy Saturday afternoon at Raymond James Stadium, but the defense was amazing. They held Carolina to 19 rushing yards. That's pretty fitting for Levante David's last game. Just really awesome. I think we're gonna see Mike Evans all the post game next year. All the post game and the interviews and quotes make it seem like he is planning on coming back next year. So that's a good.
It does seem like that.
Yeah.
That was nice. It's nice seeing these two guys go out on their own terms. Like I'm still very scarred by Derek Brooks, so it's nice to see him. Thinking of Rondé Barber too, like some of these more recent Hall of Fame defensive guys going out on their own terms. Like, that's nice.
Yeah, I agree.
And then Gerald McCoy, like on the other side, where it's like he doesn't like. It's like there's the pain of that. It's hard to see, like with him and Brooks, but then now Levante and Barber. It's like that's nice.
And it's nice. Again, we're Tampa Bay fans through and through. We don't get to see a guy start his career and finish career
it's like,
at
I thought
Tampa
for
Bay.
sure we're gonna get Stamkos. It was like, nope, no, that shall not happen.
Levante, because okay, I'm bad with my history. Did Brooks go to a different team? No,
he wanted to. He spent the whole 08 offseason looking to get in another team, and he couldn't.
Okay, and then Barber didn't go to another team.
Yeah, Barber retired.
Okay. So, I mean, Levante David's definitely one of the greatest athletes to finish his career because, I mean, I think it's those three guys are the best, three Tampa Bay athletes to start and finish their career. There's because you think about the Lightning greats. I mean, maybe Nikita Kucherov can go up there one day, but Martin St. Louis.
It's looking good. Now that Stamkos is gone, I think Kucherov's going to finish.
But St. Louis, LeCavalier, they both, Stamkos now. Rays, you don't get to keep anyone, so Longo was the only hope, and that didn't work out. So Levante David is one of the rare Tampa Bay athletes who's going to start and finish his career as a Buck, and just one of the rare breeds. Just so consistent. So what a guy.
Yeah, I mean, he made an effort to stay with the Bucs, and you got to appreciate that.
Yeah, I got nothing but respect for him. Anything else?
One. Oh no! I should have wrote it down.
Was it about the Bucs? Todd Bowles, Jason Light, Baker Mayfield.
I feel like it was Bowles related, but I don't remember. It'll probably come to me like right after we hit the.
You can, but yeah, let us know your thoughts in the comments on Todd Bowles returning, Levante David, Gene Deckerhoff. Where does Levante David rank in your all-time Buccaneers? I think we did this a while ago. I think he's in the 5 to 7 range. Mm-hmm. I think just for longevity purposes, like I think he cracks that. He's in that 5 spot for me. Did this a while ago. I think we did it in the summer. We did kind of an all-time great Tampa Bay. I think we did it around when Longo was retiring his jersey. But yeah,
I do have one thing. It wasn't what I wanted, but I'll take it. It's a close second. Did you see the Bucs kind of announce some like stadium stuff today?
No.
I don't know like how where it came from or like what it was, but they announced like some great new era of Raymond James Stadium. I don't think it was anything huge, but again, it was just kind of a way to like appease some fans.
Interesting.
Yeah. So there was that, but I don't remember what I actually had. I was hoping that would trigger it, but it didn't.
Interesting. Yeah, and then I mean, I'm excited for the outdoor classic. I'm going to the outdoor classic.
That's gonna be cool.
Yeah. Well, did you see? So they're building a tent over so they're putting the ice on the field and they're building a tent that's going to go over it on the field and they're going to roll out the tent like an hour before the game starts.
That would be cool.
It's
probably gonna be like super air conditioned in there.
Yeah, well, I mean it's gonna be chilly in the tent. Yeah. Well, I think they were more worried about the sun. I don't know. That probably still comes for the heat as well. But they're building that tent, and then as people are like rolling in, they'll be like unconstructing the tent. So that'll be kind of an interesting sight. But did you see any of the Miami Marlins Stadium series? Did you check out any of that?
Oh, I love how big they lost. I mean, that's not really an outdoor game.
They opened the roof.
The roof was open.
The roof was open.
I'm glad to hear that.
It was pretty cool. They did a really good job. Like they made half of it snow and half of it sand, which I thought was pretty cool. Cool. Like it looked really cool, and I was happy. The Panthers were wearing some sick jerseys though. They had like the old. I wasn't
a huge fan of the yellow pants.
Really, I just love that old school Panthers logo.
They were good tops. I liked the tops.
Yeah, no, and I agree. Like man. If the Panthers can let's miss the playoffs.
They're out of the playoffs.
Yeah,
right now.
That's what I need. That's what I need as a Lightning fan.
I'm so upset about the Lightning jerseys though. Like those are some of the ugliest things.
They're hideous. They're so
come
bad.
on, we had one chance. This is the one time you're probably ever going to play an outdoor game, and you put that crap out. That's from ChatGPT.
I agree. And then
ChatGPT those jerseys.
Yeah, and I think the side patch is pretty cool. And like I just hate when like the best thing about a jersey is a side patch
I'll
because
have
it's
to look
so
at it
small.
because I haven't.
It's like it's got like pirates and swords and stuff.
Oh
Like
yeah,
it's
I think
pretty.
I did see that. That is
Yeah, it's
good.
pretty cool. But like I liked when they had the outdoors where it was like the white and blue against the Preds a couple of years ago.
That one was.
Those
good.
were cool.
Yeah.
But these ones, I agree, man. I don't like that light blue. It's just it's not good. It's not good.
It's like we took the worst aspect of the Rays and we brought it to our team.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm with you on that one, Joel. I'm not a fan. Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to them. 10 straight.
Yes.
10 straight.
And
yeah.
they handed the Avalanche their 4th regulation loss of the season.
They came to Florida and got pummeled.
Yes.
Panthers, Lightning, double loss.
Wow. But yeah, let us know in your comments. Thank you guys for watching. Yeah, we'll be back. We got a whole lot of Lightning content to come to you guys. Obviously the Bucs season. Well, as we get updates with the coaching staff, with as we go into free agency, the draft, we got you covered for Bucs offseason content. The Bulls are active in the transfer portal. Brian Hartline is cooking, so we will have some recaps of the Bulls transfer portal coming in the next couple of weeks. You guys are going to want to hear about that because, man, there's a lot of new faces, but I am excited about what USF has been doing in this transfer portal. They have a better transfer portal class right now than Florida, Florida State, and UCF. Wow. They are cooking. Best portal class in the state of Florida. But yeah, let us know your thoughts in the comments. I've said that like 3 times. I'll say it again. Subscribe to this channel. Follow us on Instagram, TB3 Sports Talk. Follow us on X, TB3 Sports Talk. And most importantly, have a beautiful and blessed night.